Hello, hi. So, um, I'm here to talk about the World Cup being played in Africa for the first time. Um, it's going to be played in South Africa this year, and frankly, I'm not in support of it. Now, I'm speaking as an African, okay? I'm actually from Nigeria. I agree with foreigners when they say that Africa is not ready for a World Cup. I mean, just look at the facts, look at the statistics. Africa is a continent that is not yet developed. We're not developed. In fact, Africa is still in the primary stages of development. I mean, we're not organized. I don't know of any African country apart from North African countries that have a sense of organization. South Africa is, and I'm not saying this to like dispute South Africans or as a hate, because I have South African friends, but I think that one, people will not come for the World Cup because one, the crime rate over there is really scary. Trust me, I'm from Nigeria. My country is really corrupt. We have crime there, but from the documentaries I've seen, I mean, it's really scary. I mean they were interviewing, and the thing is, most of the South Africans would not admit to it. I mean, they clearly interviewed this South African minister, and he said, and I quote what he said. He said, "The crime rate in South Africa is high, but it is not out of control." Come on, come on. I mean, what's that supposed to mean? Obviously, the crime rate is high. For it to be high, that means it is out of control. You can't control the crime in your country. That is why it is high. I mean, and then they show a video of a guy hijacking a car in traffic. That's like, and everyone is looking. No one does anything. I mean, they show a video of another woman who was shot in front of her house, and she was pregnant, and all these are in South Africa. But back to the point, talking about the World Cup generally in Africa, I don't think we should be hosting a World Cup yet. We can host a World Cup, but not yet. I don't think we're ready. I think Africa still has a long way to go before it can decide to host the World Cup. But frankly, whether I like it or not, the World Cup is going to come, so I have to support it as an African. And yeah, probably if they should have even hosted the World Cup in Africa, come on, they have North African countries are there. Egypt is there. Egypt is I say there's more organization in Egypt than they have in South Africa. So that's one country, and I was looking at another documentary, and they were like talking about the distance between each stadium, each match venue in South Africa, and it was like really a long distance between each venue, which the guy also said before you move from one venue to another, it can take you almost like a day. I mean, that is bad, considering the fact that South Africa is so big that you can fit like almost five West African countries into it. I mean, come on, they should have they just shouldn't have done it there. I mean, come on. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know why, but I support it. I agree. I'm not going to say Africa shouldn't host the World Cup. They can host it, and South Africa can host it. I'm in support of them, but I'm just not happy with it. I support it, but I'm not happy with it. Um, and they were talking about the match tickets. I mean, in 2006 in Germany, um, they sold over 1 million tickets to foreigners alone. This year, just and that was like months before the World Cup started. Now, this is April, and the World Cup starts in like 2 months, and and they've only sold 450,000 tickets to foreigners. Come on, that's just bad. And then they keep saying, and we have some Africans who refuse to see the truth. One thing about me is I think I'm saying the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, or I'm just going to be blunt. They cannot. That World Cup will probably be a flop. I mean, people all over the world might tune in to watch it, but you're not going to get that many foreigners to come there because they are afraid of of the way things are going there. I mean, so please, no one should insult me. I am not trying to insult Africa. I am just trying to say we are not ready. South Africa is a really great country. It's a developing country. They have really great places, but I don't think that I think they still have some distance to go before they can reach that part where they can start where they can start hosting World Cup. And I think this goes for the rest of Africa. Africa is a country where there is a continent where there's a lot of destruction. I mean, look at Zimbabwe. I mean, the president there sucks. I mean, if I had a chance, I'd probably, if I had that kind of power, I'd probably kick him out of there. He's fucking killing. He's bleeding that country dry. I mean, he's basically taking farms away from the white people and giving it to the black people. He's sending white people away. I mean, and later blacks will say there's racism. I think that man is a parasite on his land. He's a parasite to his people. I think he should go. And if I move away from Zimbabwe, I'll take you to my country. I'll show you my country is also bad. I mean, Nigeria, for the past 6 months, we don't know where our president is being. Some people say he's in the country. They took pictures of his ambulance in the country because they said he was sick. But I actually think they killed him. So, but that aside, I mean, our country is so corrupt. Like, I think the issue of corruption is in every Nigerian now. I mean, we have some tiny cell in our body that just makes us corrupt. I mean, if you move away from Nigeria, you have other African countries that are not good. The Nations Cup, the African Football Cup, was hosted in Angola, and it was what many people consider to be a major flop. It wasn't as great as the past African Cup of Nations, and that was because of infrastructure. Things in Angola were prices of things in Angola were just too high. People, I'll say this once more. I am not saying Africa is the worst place to come. I just think what I'm trying to say is we're not ready for a World Cup. The World Cup should be played in Africa, but no one can change that decision now. So I guess we're just going to have to live with it. I mean, I pray to God it doesn't turn out to be a disgrace to the continent. I mean, the Confederations Cup that was played last year was kind of okay. I mean, people turned out, so well, I guess we're going to get some people here. 450,000, probably more. I don't know. So that's it. Thank you. Bye.